Alrighty. Get this up and running. Alrighty. Hello, good morning. I know, really early start to my panel. Alright, you guys are also can be active in the Rare Persona Media chat if you will. Yeah, give one some time. Hi. Hi. But yeah, don't worry. I will also be recording this panel too. Be uploaded on my YouTube. My previous installments are above in the chat. You guys can whatever, watch them whenever or watch them after this. It's all good. Alrighty. Good morning, Dragon. Good morning, Cherry. Hi, Squidward. Hi, Squidward. Hi, Keenet. Alrighty. I feel like, okay. I feel like anyone who's gonna be in here is most likely here now. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Rare Persona Media 3 with me, Feather, but this time with a twist. We're going to actually be talking about fan stuff. Now, when I get to my disclaimer and rules, I'll emphasize what this exactly will entail, but we're going to be switching it up this year a little bit just to give the Rare Media a little bit of a break, though, but we'll be talking about fan stuff. So first, with the introduction for those who don't know or who want a refresher, hi, my name is Feather. My pronouns are she, they. I'm a computer animator and artist, and I'm also a hobbyist cosplayer and content creator. You can see a lot of my iconography on the right side of my screen right here. I was first introduced to Persona in around 2017, I would say. It's a little bit hard to date it though, but it was definitely in a P5 era, which was with P3, oddly enough. In a post P5 world is, you know, a bit out of the blue. Thank you for the cosplays. Yay. I started playing Persona in 2020 with Persona 4 Golden, which kind of fitting with potentially what news we might be getting, hopefully during Xbox Showcase. I'm so excited. I hope we get some more word on P4. But you could find me under any names or usernames as Feather55160. Yes, it's a username I've had since I was a child, so forgive me for not changing it. Now we're gonna get into the disclaimer / rules. This is just to, clear stuff up if there's any questions or just answer any quick questions. Most of the media info or anything like that you see in this panel is actually based off of forums, videos, and posts in general made years ago. We're talking things that even date back to the 90s even. So some of these is also before a lot of people were born. I know it's before I was born. But this is just to cover my butt if anything seems like out of date for whatever reason or what though, but that's why I have to put this here. I don't want to see any kind of thing in, discussion-wise being like, oh, that's not rare media, or this isn't rare media. Hey, I'm not always the judge on what is rare and what isn't rare, but if you come away from this panel learning something new, I'd say you learned something rare. Keep it at that. One thing, when it comes to fan stuff, I want to keep a heavy disclaimer is I won't be discussing drama. This panel is not discussing drama, whether it be happens 30 years ago or recently. I'm not here to talk about any kind of drama. No bad blood, no nothing. This is a panel for positivity for the most part, at least 90% of it is for positivity's sake. We'll get there when we get there. One thing, I will always say this for any kind of panel I do, I will be keeping spoilers as vague as possible for the whole Persona series, just to kind of cover my butt a little bit. I never know where anyone is in Persona though too. It is a very extensive franchise with a very extensive history, so if I accidentally spoil something for you, I'm sorry, but again, try to keep everything vague as possible. What is Yeah, no, it would. Now to the rules. This panel will only include fan-made content only, so that means there's no Atlus involvement at all in any of these entries that you'll be seeing. I'm grading based on community involvement when it comes to these projects. So, like, what I would determine a fan piece of media would be if there's a certain level of one, not only community knowledge, but community involvement in the creation of said piece. That would be featured here. As always, I will keep at least one rare piece of fan media per game, but I will have bonus entries if time allows. And now, for my final rule, and a rule that will always remain true, no Trinity Soul. Still. Are there even fans for this? Like, are there? If there were, I don't find any fan things, obviously. Alright, so time to get ready into the panel. Alrighty. Trinity Soul Erasure. Yeah, no, man, I am not a fan of Trinity Soul, though, too. I will keep that thing locked away. One thing I will suppress now and always. But yeah, now onto the first topic, and probably one of the most fascinating topics. There is a Persona 1 fan site. Yes, the things you see on the screen are real things that are on this website. Even like some, you could even read some of the posts and stuff from here. This is a website known as the Velvet Room. Very original, I know. In terms of this website, it was made around 1998, and it was made by Molly L. Patterson. Who is Molly? She is a writer, designer, and along with many other titles for Electric Gaming Magazine, like Game Fan, just a lot of gaming publications in general. She's pretty well known in a lot of the gaming publication spaces, and also is like one of the, like, I would say, like, I think even like the few women in the 90s who were reporting on video games. And she and I think another friend made this website out of pure passion and love for Persona. And this is mainly like to cover the topic of Persona 1. This is before Persona 2 came out even in America. At the time, she was known as Shadowshi when she made this website, though, too. But and honestly, like, with this, it is a perfect time capsule of, like, Persona fans in the 90s. Like, if you want a website to check out and, like, know what the Persona community was like in the 90s, this is where to go. As you can probably see some of the comments on the left, some of the comments aged like milk, but also aged like wine. It's really funny to go through. Like, there's some mentions you can see where they're like talking about comparing Persona like 1 to not FF14. FF14 wasn't even a thought. FF7. I'm getting my Final Fantasies mixed up. Jeez. And like just them whispers of like other RPGs in this space, and it just gauges how the reception of Persona 1 was at the time. And for reference for Western fans, this was when Revelations Persona came out, so this is that botched version of that game, that botched dub. I know in an interview I listened with her insights on the website and her time in the Persona community, Molly actually had a special copy of, like a press copy of Persona 1 given to her, and she got to see like the Snow Queen quest in its half translated state while it's locked here for like general American fans. And another fun fact about Molly, she didn't like Persona 2 Eternal Punishment when it first came out. She actually returned it back to the game store when she got it. I feel like it's probably one of her biggest regrets, because knowing the price of that game, I found it once at a game store for like almost $800 with the seal still on it. Yeah. But for this panel, and probably for the first time ever, I'll actually make this panel interactive and share it with everyone. So you can actually visit this website here when I share the panel slides at the end of the panel. But yeah, no, geez, that price tag, you know, that $800 copy of Persona 2 is still lives rent-free in my head. But yeah, no, feel free to check out this website. This website is still online. I know for a time, Molly, she had to like stop paying for the web hosting of it, but I think around 2007 is when she put it back online. So it's been online since like 2007 technically, but it's been around since the 90s and has been unchanged. But yeah, Persona 1 stuff. Persona 1 fan site, crazy. But yeah, next I will be moving on to the next thing. Now, this next thing I have a feeling some people might know, but also just is a good shout out. The Persona 2 Eternal Punishment PSP translation. Now, this is a really interesting piece, though, that I also played. But basically what this covers is it translates the Japanese version of Eternal Punishment for PSP, because what this version in Japan contains that English does not, or any kind of version doesn't contain, that's outside of Japan, contains Tatsuya's scenario, or known as an additional scenario. Basically, it is an additional storyline to what Tatsuya was going through during the events of Eternal Punishment. And for the longest time, it was only locked behind this version of Eternal Punishment. Like, in the West, we never got this in 2000. And for the lovely people who translated it was Erokawa Productions, who translated it into English. Now, for Erokawa Productions, they're actually a very passionate team with a love for old Persona. And they also work on other translations for other JRPGs that's not just Persona and SMT. I was actually fortunate enough to play this, so like I finished my Innocent Sin playing through, and I was trying to find stuff for Eternal Punishment. And then this translation actually finished and was fully ready to go, like by the time that I finished Innocent Sin. So playing this as my first introduction to Eternal Punishment was very much a treat. I love the things they added for Tatsuya. You could see the translation like on the left side of the screen. Just, I don't know, just more additional damage for Tatsuya, because this poor kid can't catch a break. For those who've played Persona 2, know what I'm talking about. He cannot catch a break. Alrighty. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tatsuya jumps here. Yay! Everyone's sending Tatsuya's in the chat. But yeah, no, for anyone who's a Tatsuya fan of Eternal Punishment, this is the way to go, though. I know there's other additional content in it, but the most notable is Tatsuya scenario, for sure. I don't want to give away any additional content, because I want to save that for people who want to play the game. And with me providing this link to Erokawa Productions, will actually let you have access to a way to download the translation, so you can actually play it for yourself. So if anything, this is helping me. I'll help you guys have this information be accessible, because I think everyone should play this, and people should play Persona 2, because it's a really good game. I play Persona 2, but I feel so bad for Tatsuya. No, for real. If you want to feel even worse for Tatsuya, play this. This is like the worst, most painful 15 minutes of my life. If anyone who's a Tatsuya fan, oh, there are some things this kid goes through. Bad on fan translations. Yeah, no, fan translations really are like the backbone of this community. Alrighty. Time for the next thing. And, okay, this thing, okay. Before I get any comments, this one is real. I'm gonna be cursing everyone with this knowledge. Am I stretching the definition of community involvement? Yes. But you have to hear me out. Hey, you got it. You have to hear me out. Before y'all ask, yes, this is real. Yes, he is a huge OG Persona 3 fan. He has made posts about how this is his favorite SMT game. I'm not joking. Do I like stuff like this? Absolutely not. What happens in this, he makes Makoto and Lilim do what? It's NSFW. It's NSFW. This is also possibly one of the worst, character headcanons or what of Makoto, or he's known as Minato in this story, ever. Because my boy is not an incel. Especially when Mitsuru and Yukari and all these baddies are right there. Right here on the screen, you can see, just a little glimpse of it before anything gets, raunchy. But the original has been deleted. But lovely Persona fans, again, the community involvement coming in, archived it on Wattpad. People still read this and leave comments on it. I'll say, like, reading through the fan fiction is stop throwing backpacks at me, please. But like reading this fan fiction with the fan comments like on like in Wattpad, if you're reading it like on Wattpad, is really funny. But also I feel like the most cursed way to keep this fan fiction archived is on Wattpad. Let's be so real. Like some of the comments on it are crazy. They're really funny. And I've read it though too, and unfortunately. In terms of where on Wattpad you can read it, I'm not linking this shit. I'm not linking this. I'm gonna leave y'all. Y'all can find it if you desire. I'm not linking it. I'm not providing it. Potential After Dark panel. Oh no, no one better do a dramatic reading of this. This thing gets raunchy. It's even made me like quiver in fear. I was not a fan of this. Even for reading it as a joke, I was like, I can't do this. But yeah, no, God fucking help us all, for real. Like, it is, yeah, no, we need holy water for this shit. Oh, Jesus. Alright. Now with that out of the way, we're gonna be moving on to possibly one of my favorite, like, pieces of media, like, ever, that I've ever discovered. And not a lot of people know about this, truthfully. Did you know there's a Persona 4 fan musical? Yeah, I know. Sudden tone change. I know. Let's talk about the Persona fan musical. Let's ignore Creepy McCreep fan fiction for a second. And let's talk about the Persona 4 fan musical. Now, when I stumbled across this fan musical, I found it in my YouTube recommendations because, you know, YouTube recommendations sometimes brings up old gems. Like, they bring up stuff from, like, 10 years ago constantly. I love how it primed my YouTube recommendation. This is known as Midnight Channel, the musical. And it's originally a Persona 4 fan musical. And it originally started, I would say, like around what I've seen posts on like Tumblr and like YouTube. It started around February 2013, and this is created by Jake and Gina Smith. They are people who write original fan songs for a lot of pieces of media, and this is one of them though too. They basically made the whole musical. And as for what this fan musical featured was 14 original songs and a script, like an entire script for this musical, which is insane. We could make a Personacon fan musical. We could. I think y'all could sing. Karaoke has proved that y'all can sing. I mean, I could sing, kind of. I can only sing like one song, but whatever. As for going back to the panel topic, the existence of a script is proven through a table read posted on YouTube, and here linked, I have a link leading to the table read. That's how I found out the project. I found it through this table read, and you could see in a picture on the left, you could see, they got like a someone for everyone, like, to voice, and also the table read's also half sung. I think half the songs are performed there in the room, I believe. I think the table read reads around 3 hours long, so if you got 3 hours to spare, whether it be post-con or what, this is a really interesting thing to look into. Some sad news is that they actually pitched it to Atlus to authorize the musical so they can continue production on it, because they had to get Atlus like verification on it. What happened was nothing fell through, and it was canceled in March 2014. The musical did attempt to rebrand to Please Stand By, to be like a CD release of just the songs, but the like GoFundMe unfortunately didn't fill its goals, so no CD was actually produced, unfortunately, which is a very sad like fact about this project though too. And this is also a fan project. Again, I want to emphasize this is before Persona 5 came out, and this was during the height of Persona 4's popularity in the early like 2010s. So this is like during the arena era, this is during like Q dancing, I think this is before dancing games, because I think the dancing games came out in like late 2014 or 2014, 15, around that range. But what is available, if you do desire to listen to it, is that on SoundCloud and even on YouTube, they have not professional recordings of these songs, but these songs are still accessible to this very day, even if them not getting an official CD one, like, release though too. But do check out this band project. This is a fascinating thing. This is, I even think, before a lot of people widely know of, like, the musicals, like the official Persona, like, stage plays and stuff. Shout out to my stage plays video. I worked really hard, and you see my bestie Lucas in chat. He helped edit it, and it looks really awesome and polished. But yeah, no, this is still, like, a very just, I don't know, such an interesting piece of, like, Western Persona fan media, and it shows how dedicated Persona fans were in, like, a like, Persona 5 world, and then wanting to make something as fun as, like, a musical. Just, I don't know, it's just, a fan musical like this before P5 just sounds insane to me. Like, this is pure theater kids. These are theater kids having fun, and I'm so here for it, because it's really good. I enjoyed the table read so much. Yeah, no, that is the new Persona 4 remake. Alrighty. I'm looking at the chat and seeing if there's any last thoughts on this. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, I'm manifesting for Persona 4 news, bro. I better see some more Persona 4 news. If you saw my thing in Artist Alley, by the way, go check out the Artist Alley. My Hiho coupon has not been redeemed yet. Mama needs a new Naoto icon. Girl, I need new Naoto media, please. The plays a little bit, Atlus media gifts. That's awesome! Oh my god, I'm so happy stage plays are getting acknowledged. The stage plays are truly my favorite. I did find one of the stage play DVDs at a con once, and it's one of my most prized possessions in my collection. Go look at Artist Alley. Use your Hiho coupons. Dragon I know hasn't got their Hiho coupon redeemed either. Like a lot of people. Come on. Get those Hiho coupons. Some of these deals are sick. These deals are awesome. I'm loving it. But yeah, next is Persona 5 The Imagining Project. Now, sorry for the quick segue though, but there's a lot to discuss when it comes to the Persona 5 Imagining Project. This is such a weird thing that popped up. I'll explain the story. So we'll be getting there in just a second. So if you didn't know, Persona 5's OST was leaked, heavy quotations marked, leaked, in February of 2012. And as the releases were happening, I think, weekly for the OST, like, them, like, leaking the OST, the like, types of music that, like, of genres that were seen in those releases were very much reminiscent of, like, jazz, house, disco, rock, and a lot of just other music genres. So, and it not only featured original songs, original, heavy quotation marks again, original, the website, the YouTube account that was posting this was known as Atlus XP5, and apparently it featured original artwork and had a gray color scheme, apparently. But yeah, more aspects of, like, Persona 5, heavy quotation marks again, leaked, were coming out in the couple months post-February 2012. Stuff like the color scheme being, like, gray, the story, and, like, just more art were leaked. This actually, a lot of fans thought this was, like, legit. Keep in mind, this is 2012. This is before even the chair promo came out. Like, the infamous chair, like, Persona 5 thing came out. A lot of people thought this was legit. And this was also during a time on the internet where leaks like this were very believable. Like, if something like this were pulled off for, like, Persona, like, 6, I don't think people would be as tricked. Even in the Atlus forums at the time, people thought this was, like, legit, too. Even admins, like, actual people appointed by Atlus in these old forums that are long been gone, had to be like, hey, this is not real. Stop posting about this. Like, people, like, Atlus was fully aware of this P5 thing going around. And at this point, I think around, like, late 2012, around that range, is when this Persona 5 thing gained the Imagining title, because this actually turned out to be like just like a fan project. And this also, like, the whole rumors about this were officially debunked when that trailer teaser came out in like 2013, I think is when that came out, if that, during that sound bomb, I believe. So again, with it getting the Imagining title, it was able to like separate its own identity from Atlus, essentially, and began to create something entirely new. Like, because again, with people, again, with this, because people, again, thought this was legitimately P5, but then with it getting the Imagining title, people were like, oh, this is like a fan thing. This is like fans trying to like predict what Persona 5 would be about. Because this is during the time where no one knew anything about Persona 5. All we had was the chair promo, and that was it. Like, people were truly, I cannot emphasize how in the dark fans were at the time when it comes to this era of Persona. Because people did not know what was going on, straight up. If you do want to hear more info about Persona 5 Imagining Project, I linked a video essay that came up in my recommended, and ever since I saw that video, I've been fascinated by this project. This project is insane. It's an example of, like, fake games that don't exist, and also it goes into the story of what this P5 Imagining Project was going to cover, and it was going to actually, oddly enough, link into SMT. Like, true SMT, like, apocalyptic SMT. Like, this isn't like, oh, it has the SMT title. They were trying to link this fully with, like, the canon of SMT. But yeah, no, this is... I encourage everyone to go check out this, though, and when I share my slides, this is a great watch. Like, if you got, like, I think, like, about 20 minutes to spare, this is an excellent watch that explains the context of this project heavily. Yes, I'm seeing some supports for video essays in chat. Yes, I love video essays. Alrighty, with the time we have time for our classic bonus entries. Now, alright, this essay is so good. I've seen it. No, the essay for Imagining Project is phenomenal. Like, and I know, like, pretty well known, like, video essayist, Super Eyepatch Wolf covered a little bit in his fake games video, like, kind of used it as, like, almost like an appetizer, essentially, for the topics he was going to discuss. So, he also did a really good take on it. But the one video essay I linked in this chat has, like, honestly, like, the best, like, flat out, like, storytelling of this, like, that whole project, straight up. Super Eyepatch Wolf, my goat. House like carpet. So true, Weed Man. Honestly, so true. But yeah, let's get into some of the bonus entries now, because I have some time, and I do not want to waste said time. First, we got more fan subbing and dubbing projects. This is just, like, to be, like, almost like a quick little lightning round when it comes to these things fans have put together. Speaking of stage plays, a lot of fans have put in effort in subbing parts of the Persona, like, 3 Weird Masquerade stage play. I think there's a few for other ones, but worth of note for me, at least I would like to, like, be of note, and I think is the most, a lot of fans have their eyes on, is the Persona 3 The Weird Masquerade. Rightfully so. It's literally amazing. Ugh, I love Weird Masquerade. Want to see me go on a tangent? I love Asumi Tano so much. Don't even mention her. As for the subs, they're provided by Hawk 104 and Phoenix Micah, I believe. Linked here, I link everyone's YouTube channels so you can go check them out. There are also their footage of the subbed versions of the stage plays helped with when I made my video essay on the stage plays. So please go check them out on YouTube. Their work is phenomenal, and their effort on making the, like, stage plays accessible for an English audience is very much appreciated, and I want to sing their praises because their work is phenomenal. All right, the next one we have is just Persona drama CDs with subs and also visuals. So there's, as you've probably seen in my previous installment, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of Persona audio dramas, like drama CDs. There's a lot of them. What fans have done for worth of note is P3 and P4 dramas. Fans have compiled the dramas, subbed them, and also give visuals that are like almost like an in-game kind of cutscene. This is seen especially in the both P3 and P4s. P3s kind of looks like portables, like kind of cutscene style, which is what I love. I love Persona 3 Portable. It's my favorite Persona 3 game. The P4R dramas are done by Mizu Wing on YouTube, and again, the hyperlink is provided in these slides. And the P4 dramas are just made by like a lot of fans. I found on YouTube, I found like a whole playlist of like Persona 4 CD drama like subs with visuals. So enjoy that playlist though too, especially if you want to like see musicals and countries fall suit. Yeah. But like since Atlus has no intentions on like dubbing these audio dramas, this is like the best way honestly to watch them though too. I like watching them also with visuals, so like I can focus on it, and since I don't know a lot of Japanese, it helps me actually know what's happening, especially with these visuals. All right. Now time to get into some of the dubbing. I'm going to quickly get a sip. Make sure to stay hydrated, Personacon. Please stay hydrated. It's hot out. It is hot, especially where I'm at. I'm surprised we're not getting a heat advisory right now. Oops. Now, dubbing. The Persona 3 movies fan dub. Now, if you've seen my video essay on the Persona 3 movies, the P3 movies infamously does not have an English dub. And there's clearly no intentions on creating an English dub, like in any official capacity, which is very sad because these movies are really good. I love these movies. These are actually made by Kiramaru 16. Yes, I had to look up Roman numerals, even with me being a Final Fantasy fan. These series of dubs started in 2013, which is around the time when Spring of Birth came out. Speaking of Spring of Birth is fully dubbed on YouTube. Like, fully fan dubbed on YouTube right now. And the fan dub's actually pretty good. I'm surprised such an effort in 2013, like, with how microphone technology was back then, it did surprisingly well, though, too. It's a pretty damn good dub. And I know, like, I think, according to Kira, it was taken down, and, like, he put it back up. So the upload's not that old, but the dub is still, like, available. So, yeah, this also is another shout-out. You can technically watch all the P3 movies just on YouTube. Like, with English subs, or even this fan dub, just now. Has Atlus found out? Kind of. Sometimes they find out, but, like, when I checked this morning, all the uploads are still there. Speaking of if the group is doing more, Midsummer Night's Dream is currently in work in progress. Like, production for Midsummer Night's Dream is in work in progress. I know this because I tried to audition for Yukari and Fuka. Fuka will come up later again in this panel, don't worry. I didn't get the call, unfortunately. But the dub cast, and they put a teaser for... also the P3 movies are on Amazon to rent if you want to pay for them. And also the Blu-ray or whatever. But Midsummer Night's Dream is currently a work in progress. There's a teaser actually for it on their YouTube channel, and it's like the beginning scene, like the scene with like them fighting in like the Love Hotel, fighting the lovers shadow. It's a really, I like, because they had to recast, I think, everyone, because I don't think everyone was able to return back from the 2013 like Spring of Birth one for that dub, but it's a really good watch. I would love for people to support Kiramaru's efforts in dubbing the P3 movies, because if Atlus ain't gonna do it, fans are gonna do it for sure. That's the main lesson in this panel. Yeah. Also, another thing, this is mainly for like new Persona fans, or I've noticed this start to become rare media, and it's kind of scary and kind of making me realize my own age. A little bit too much. The Heim Daisy P4 comic. A lot of new P4 fans, or like not even just P4 fans, but Persona fans in general, seem to have forgotten Haim Daisy's P4 comic. Even though I will see them post, like, jokes from it. Like, as if that's in the game. That's in the game formally. I just see now a lot of people talking about Haim Daisy, and it's scary, and I don't know, it just makes me realize I'm old as hell. For those who want a refresher, Haim Daisy comic, that's comic for just P4 and also P3, is the source of a lot of Persona memes, especially Persona 4 memes. Like, stuff like Fustake, Nooses Are Bad, who wants to talk about murders, stuff like that. But one thing I do like in Personacon is that, like, we're actually bringing a lot more attention to Haim Daisy. But yeah, there's a popular, again, I'm so glad you guys in chat remember this comic dub, because I sound insane if I bring this up to, like, newer Persona fans. I sound like a maniac. I look like that Squidward image of him, like, disheveled, and then, like, the mom rushing away the kids. I look like that. Oh yeah, shout out to G-Force's panel later on, who voiced Teddy in this dub. This dub was produced by Sapphire, who makes a lot of, like, fan songs and, like, covers of songs, though, too. Her work is amazing, and she's also a voice actor, too. Yeah, no, that's what I look like talking about the Haim Daisy comic. Thank you, Lucas, for providing that. I look like that image. I look like that talking about, because I look like some weird, crazy old guy, like, in the corner, reminiscing about, like, older, like, era of, like, Persona and stuff, though. But, like, Aaron Graham. Wait, are you kidding me, Aaron? Oh my god, I didn't know that. Game Grumps fame? Oh my god. Jesus, everyone was in this comic dub. Oh my god, sorry. I've learned something new every day. Oh, whew. Actually iconic, though, for real. We love Aaron Game Grumps. But yeah, no, also, I feel like this is with me providing my slides, this is a good way to get a little fun refresher and just walk down memory lane with the Haim Daisy comic dub of P4 before G-Force's panel. I'm just saying, it would be a nice rewatch, too. You can kind of see where it all started. Alright. Now, moving on to the next thing. Okay. I may be biased with this. You'll see. Basically, Persona Voiceovers was a group that made, like, voiceovers of memes and skits. Now, why do I bring up them? When I could bring up so many more voice acting groups, is that this voice acting group is something that's always fascinated me. I've always liked it. It was active on, like, Instagram and YouTube from, like, October, like, 2020 to, like, August 2023. And if you are on, like, Instagram in, for, like, Persona stuff, you definitely have seen their content. Their content was very well known, though, too, when they were around. Reason why I bring up Persona voiceovers is that I was actually a voice actor, a part of the group. I was there since, I think, like, 2022 to the very end in 2023. As for who I played Fuka. I was, like, the last Fuka. I think there's a one or two Fukas, I think, before me, but I was, like, the last one. Lore Drop. I played Fuka in this, though, too, and what I thought was really funny was when, like, Reload came out, and, like, we heard, like, Susie play, like, Fuka. It sounded like how I played Fuka, because when I auditioned for Fuka, fun lore job, fun little side tangent. When I auditioned for Fuka, we had no Reload content or no definitive thing to go off of. I was going off of the original P3 and Wendy Lee's performance of Fuka in the dancing games. I was purely going off of that. And I want to lean more into Wendy Lee's performance because I like her performance as Fuka a lot better than the original. Because the original Fuka, yeah, it's very finicky. But I'm so glad Susie Young is playing Fuka. She did an amazing job as Fuka, especially, this is not in the game, but that one, is that the Grim Reaper clip? Lives rent-free in my brain every single day. Another reason why I wanted to bring this up is, I miss my friends. I want to have this moment to, like, mourn this project, because I had a lot of fun with this, even though I was trying to audition for Labris, but they didn't let me in for some reason, though, even though I sound pretty good as Labris. I'm not gonna lie. I nail that Brooklyn accent. But just, like, I don't know, hit me up if you were a part of this project or know someone who was a part of this group. This is just kind of a casting call for help. I miss my friends. I want to know where everyone is, and I hope everyone's doing well. Because I know when the server shut down, I had like 24 hours to like get everyone's info, and I didn't have time because I had work, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is just a little like almost have you seen this voiceover group kind of poster, if you will. But yeah. So yeah, Joey Wheeler. Yeah, no, I kind of sound like Joey Wheeler. Yukio. Oh, stop. It's a Joey Wheeler panel now. Alrighty, now let's get in to the final topic. Alright. First of all, happy Pride Month. Do y'all like Golden Girls? Do y'all like the Golden Girls? Do y'all guys like fuck with Golden Girls? I hope so. I hope you like Golden Girls. This is possibly one of the coolest pieces of fan media I've ever come across. This is so funny. Now, how does the Golden Girls pertain to Persona? So, this whole thing is based off of a joke that someone made of, what if the Golden Girls had a Persona game? That's literally the whole point of this joke. Again, initially it was a joke, but it became a game. The creator is created by Christopher Langren. I can't pronounce last names. Last names are weird. But and this game that was purely made as a joke initially at first was made in like Unity. It was a Unity game. I mean, you can kind of tell by the assets though. But like for what one guy was able to produce, this is amazing. For an Atlus game that involves so many people, to make a Golden Girls game purely on your own is insane. This game, for what we saw clips of it on like Twitter and like around the internet in general, had the flair of both like the Golden Girls and Persona 5. As you can see in the menus here on the right side of my screen. Rip those legends. No, these queens are living it up and causing chaos up in heaven. Trust me. I know that for a damn fact. Betty White, I miss you every single day of the week. I miss you so much, girl. The game, for what we saw, had a battle system, 2D art, and dialogue. Like, just dialogue that was, like, whether it be clips from the Golden Girls that were kind of, like, put into, like, the game engine or whatever. This was clearly made out of love of just, like, not only just the bit, but for people who liked the Golden Girls and thought it would be really funny if Golden Girls had their own game called Golden Girls Take Manhattan DX. Like, this is a RPG title. This is amazing. Unfortunately, it was canceled in October 2023. It wasn't due to, like, Atlus, like, being like, hey, stop doing this, thankfully. But it was because I think the creator was feeling really creatively burnt out. And again, it was mostly made by one guy. And I think there was just so much ambition in this project, though, that basically they all got too bright-eyed, and they, like, just ended up, like, kind of getting ahead of themselves too much, unfortunately. But even if this game is not coming out, seeing the, like, effort put into it in the 2D artwork, and just, like, the press around this fan game for not only just Golden Girls fans, but Persona fans, is so entertaining to see. It really warms my heart, because it shows how, like, you can truly almost make a Persona game out of anything. And I mean anything. Like, it's the fact that, like, you could just kind of make it out of, like, something like, oh, the Golden Girls is so ridiculous and so funny to me. But I don't know. I just want to shout out this project and, I don't know, get people talking about it. I miss this, though, too. I wish we could see more of this, though. But, I don't mind, like, it being canceled, though, but, like, I don't know, as long as people can respect Chris's, efforts, though, and don't, like, hound him to keep working on this game. He's clearly hasn't been working on since October, but yeah, no, this is something so fun, and it's just, I don't know, ending off on Golden Girls is such a fun, like, way to show how the love of Persona just really has no bounds. It doesn't even have to pertain to the main Persona series. It could be to something as classic as the Golden Girls. The Persona game based on... Yeah, no, I can't wait. The Persona games based on Persona? That's insane. Next, to end this panel off, because we're starting to wind down a little, we're going to end with some Q&A. So if you guys have any questions about the topics or questions for me, feel free to, like, shoot them to me. I'll be checking the chat now. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun making this panel though. This, I don't know, this is just a fun love letter, especially in the 30 years of Persona's existence, and acknowledging what fans have done, because fans have done a lot of amazing work. Have you played other fan games, like a couple of P4 ones? I've played. I guess I would count this as a fan game, kind of. There's a Yukamitsu fanfiction that I read. I think it's made by like Forsnake. I forget the user's name. He actually started learning how to make a visual novel with adapting his Yukamitsu fan fiction into like a visual novel like ones. And I really like the visual novel adaptation of his fan fiction, and it's really fun. It's really cool to see. Is there any fan comics that you would recommend? Oh, fan comics I would recommend. One AU. It's kind of a fan comic. It's slash an AU. I really like there's this, I forget what the AU's exactly called, but basically it's a P4 AU that reverses who's each of the major arcanas. So it follows stuff like Saki, Yumi, or like just like the other confidant characters, but as if they were the main characters of Persona, and it wasn't like Yosuke, Chie, like those people. Like if it was following purely the social link characters in like Yasagami High, basically. I don't know. I also like to see other sides of like a character like Naoki, especially with like losing his sister in such a brutal way, though. Too. That's why I really like Naoki's social link in P4. But I really like that AU. That AU's really well done. I don't know. It also like kind of like gives me like kind of something to chew on. I also reminded of the P3 comic on Webtoon. Yeah, no, there's that Reload comic on Webtoon. It's kind of a weird thing that exists, but it does exist. Oh yeah, the Arcana swaps are really fun to see. Discovery Turtles, I believe. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is also that one AU that's like adult like confidants though too. That one's really cool too. Also just like to see like, I don't know, the adults in P5 just have their own lives. Because I don't know, that's the one thing about Persona. I'd like to see like the lives of the adults too, because it shows that the world truly does not revolve around these like teenagers. Yeah, no, there's a lot of really cool like fan AUs people have put together. Thank you EY. Thank you Lucas for sending your man. P4-6 college. Yeah, no, I hope so. Are there any specific types of fan media you want to see more of? Ooh, more stuff fan media I want to see. I kind of want to see more like fan animations. That's one thing I haven't seen a whole lot of, is like whether it be like fan animations of like parts and social links, or like, because like a lot of parts of social links is usually you standing there talking to someone. I would love to see like whether it be animatics or animations of like adapting different aspects of the social links that isn't like in the in-game engine. I don't know, I think it'd be fun. Yeah, no, there's also the animated adaptation of the I'm Daisy P4 comic. I love that. Peak. It's so good. I think they're still like animating on it right now. It's really good. But yeah, no, I want to see more Persona like fan animations in general. I think it's one of those things that would be really cool to see more of. I come from the background of Ruby, and Ruby, there's a lot of fan series, a lot of fan animated stuff. So I want to see that kind of bleed into like Persona a little bit, like just a smidge though. Like I always see mods, I see people like do like fake scenarios in like it's spoofing the game engine and stuff. But I want to see like just full on fan animations. I think it'd be cool. I wish I could animate because a couple of videos in my head. That's where you get to me. You ask me to animate because trust me, I have a degree in this. I can do it. What are your take on fanfictions based on the Persona franchise? And would you have any recommendations? Ooh, fanfictions. Ooh. I have to think about this. What the first fanfiction that comes to mind that's not like kind of NSFW has heavy trigger warnings or whatever that I can remember off the top of my head. There's this one fanfiction on AO3. It's called Iori Insight. I forget who made it though, but if you look up Iori Insight, you should be able to find it. It's basically a Junpei-centered fanfiction of him helping his friends and helping him get, like, with Chidori. Like, this is also posts like, oh, you keeping spoilers vague about this. Chidori, you help her live. I don't know how else to dance around. You help her live. That it takes place in that canon. But Iori Insight is basically him helping his friends, like, out in, like, their day-to-day lives, like, post, like, losing, like this is the kind of takes place after the answer, around that range. There's one chapter that I really like that stands out to me the most is, I think in chapter 3, it's him and Yukari, it's Junpei and Yukari hanging out, and, like, Yukari, like, is having trouble asking out Mitsuru, and it's because it centers around Yukimitsu. I'm a big Yukimitsu fan, and, like, Junpei kind of gives Yukari some really nice advice on how to, like, approach that though, and also, like, I don't know, they just have a really, like, Yukari and Junpei have, like, a really nice sibling banter that, like, I really like how that fanfiction captured in Iori Insight. And I don't want to spoil how that chapter ends, but it ends really cute. It's a really cute fanfiction, though. That's one I would like to recommend heavily. I will say there's a content warning for Junpei's dad being a bad person. For anyone who's played Portable knows Junpei's link. His parents, specifically his dad's not a good person at all. But content warning for that, but, like, you can, I think in the chapters it says, like, hey, if this chapter gets too heavy, you can skip it, though, too. Like, that's my only content warning for seeing Iori Insight, but it's a really good fanfiction. I enjoyed it so much. I was watching it chapter by chapter, and oh, it's peak. My favorite gifts of all time. No, for real. I love Double Date. Yes. I'm here to shout out Yukimitsu though. But yeah, no, check out Iori Insight if you ever have some time to just read some really nice, like, fan fiction that, like, it's based off of, like, little crumbs from the games, but also, like, it feels legitimate. Like, it feels like a very realistic thing that would happen to these characters. Like, these characters don't seem out of character or whatever. It seems like a very normal thing. I'll go through. Alright, I got about, like, 10 more minutes or so. Any last questions? Let me see. Why did I just think of the Yandere fan? Don't even look up the Yandere Dev fan fiction. I mean, if you want to read it during the after hours events of Personacon, you can go do that. I'm not saying you should. I guess enter at your own risk, but don't blame me. Are you in the house like carpet? Is that even a joke? Are you? Yes. This shit's gonna feel like Velvet Turtle. You're talking to one of the members of Velvet Turtle, like, and I guess that Persona character, that old panel. Love fanfiction, see how people develop characters based on content. It's so cool to see other people's, yeah. Velvet Turtle's sweet. But yeah, no, that's the one thing I really like about, like, Persona fanfictions. I like a lot of, I would recommend some Naruto fanfictions, but I don't want to, like, cause Naruto discourse. But if anyone is willing to hear me out on some of my headcanons on Naruto, feel free to, like, DM me or whatever, because I don't want to cause anything in, like, the server. And I could, like, probably try and find some good Naruto, like, recommendations, because there's a lot of really good pieces. Like, out there about Naruto, because I like seeing character studies on characters that I like a lot, because it helps me gain another appreciation and different perspectives of characters that I like. Naruto's one of the most intelligent characters in like, not even just in SMT, but, like, Persona in general that I like. I don't know. There's something that, like, itches my brain about Naruto that I love. Yeah, no, I don't want it to revive P4 discourse. It hurts my soul, but I love P4. I have a love-hate relationship with P4, but it is my first Persona game. I have a soft spot for it. I love P4. Yeah, India law discourse. No, yeah. I'm hoping that people, like, whatever they do with revival, they, like, tweak some things, especially about kanji, that can be, like, fixed a little bit, though, because I've talked to Troy Baker. There's some things he said, though, too, that, like, prove that kanji's experience is definitely a queer experience. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to cause any discourse, but, like, there are some things that I'm like, I want them to kind of bring it back home, essentially. I want them to, like, bring it back around. Yeah, I say, just stay away from Reddit. If you want to like not hear about any kind of Persona 4 discourse, just don't go near Reddit. Reddit's scary when it comes to these kinds of things. Yeah, Kanji writing these. Yeah, no, there's some things that Kanji needs to be fixed, especially like Yosuke's. Some of the things Yosuke says to Kanji is really mean. I know it's like a character arc thing for Yosuke, but there are some things that he says are so mean to Kanji. It's like, oh my god. It's like borderline hate crime. Like, ugh. On Pride Month? No. When people say that, yeah. Happy Pride Month! Yeah, no, when it comes to like the story of like Troy Baker and like Kanji, this is a story he's been telling since 2009. There's literally footage of him years ago saying this story that I've heard many times. Like, okay, but Yosuke does kind of get it past them, but like, there's some bits that I'm like, whoa, buddy, you gotta slow it down a little. But yeah. Oh, what are some other? Yosuke, no! Why is that so cute, though? I like that. I feel like I've heard Matt Mercer also acknowledges the character. Yeah, no, a lot of, like, anyone who's played Kanji kind of acknowledges his queerness. There's a really good series of video essays, and it's compiled in a 10-hour video compilation by Hiding in Private. He made a huge Persona 4 Golden, like, a video essay. And his specific section on Kanji brought to my attention so many aspects about Kanji that, like, I straight up didn't know. And it's got me looking up, like, a lot of, like, queerness in Japanese, like, culture a lot more. And it's, just, I don't know, really cool to see. Puppies. Yeah, Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer love in chat. We love Matt Mercer. My good friend. But yeah. Did you say boss fight? Yeah. Thanks. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with this pit. Oh my god. The Troy Baker jump scare. Oh no, anyone who gets a chance to meet Troy Baker or like any like VAs a part of Persona, they're gems. They're so nice, especially Yuri Lowenthal. Oh my god, he's amazing. You show him anything Persona 4, he sees that yellow, he gets so giddy. Like you can see it in his face that he gets so excited. Well, Clark was so nice too. I am so jealous you met Mage. Don't get me started. I'm so jealous you met Allegra Clark. I'm so jealous. I want to meet the Allegra Khan herself. That's what I want to meet. Oh my god. I love you guys. Oh my god, several people typing. Oh my god. I love you guys so much. Yeah, but now as we're starting to get to like tail end of the panel, we're starting to get a little close to time. Any last like minute questions I think I can probably answer super quickly. I will greatly appreciate. He met Lotus Juice last month. Oh, that's so fucking cool. You met Lotus Juice. I want to meet him so bad. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great. I totally wasn't up late watching Igor's Drag Race or anything. My girl Ringo lost. Oops. I had a lot of fun. Doing pretty great. I'm working on my contest entry right now, Hoodie. Don't worry. Even though Hoodie's probably not watching this, but I'm working on my contest entry. Oh my god, there's the picture of me and my bestie Lucas when we met Kanji himself with this gay little ascot. I can't get over his goofy little Fred ascot he was wearing that day. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. I woke up pretty early this morning though too, especially just some P4 things. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything P4 things, but I'm excited for Xbox Showcase. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. I'm excited. His hair's amazing. But yeah, I'm so glad I was able to put on this panel for you guys. Looks like you guys had a lot of fun. Alright, I also don't want to cut too much into Midori's fan game. I don't want to cut too much of her attention to her game. Her game looks amazing, by the way. I've seen some bits of the demo, like, last year. It was really cool. Manifest P4R news. I mean, Personacon, there's always some kind of Persona news that comes out after our con or during our con. So, like, I think something's gonna happen, guys. I don't know. But yeah, I think I could probably cut like this panel off here. Probably. I think everything. announce Minecraft 2? Yeah, they better announce Minecraft 2. That'd be great. I think they should also announce Persona 7. I think it'd be funny. But anyways, to like wrap up this panel, because I've been kind of going on for a little bit, thank you so much for attending. I can't thank you guys enough for attending. You guys are so cool and awesome. And have a wonderful, and I mean wonderful, Personacon. Make sure to make this day memorable and have a blast. Have a blast. Just go crazy. Yeah, alright, guys. I'm gonna end it off here. Let me end my recording.